So boom, right? This girl sees me at the bar. I'm chilling, I'm minding my business. Turns out she works with my mom, right? So, my mom is at the job. She's showing off her son, as she should. Y'all see me. The girl that saw me at the bar, she didn't say anything to me at the bar. But when my mom was like showing pictures of me to the people at her job, the lady was like, oh, I think I saw your son at whatever bar. So long story short, this woman tries to shoot her shot at me through my mom, right? So she asked my mom to put me in contact with her. Grown woman, by the way. But bro, that's not even the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. So every time this girl saw my mom, she would say stuff to my mom like, oh, make sure you give your son my number. Tell your son to get up with me, blah, blah, blah. And my mom is kind of just like entertaining it. But apparently my mom knows that woman wasn't even really my type. So it was kind of just a bunch of little like back and forth banter, basically. So my mom told me, she was like, yeah, I haven't seen that girl for a while. 3 months later, the girl is pregnant, like visibly pregnant. So my mom sees the girl and was like, wait a second, you're pregnant? And the girl was like, yeah, you probably couldn't tell because I was wearing big shirts or whatever the case may be, like, a few months ago. So my mom was like, you wanted me to hook you up with my son and you have a baby on the way? And this is what the girl said. She said, yeah, I was just trying to keep my options open. First of all, where is the father? That's what I asked my mom. I was like, well, where's the father? Apparently, the father, the baby's dad, the woman had a child with another man, and he's still in the picture. But she's trying to keep her options open. Second of all, I do not want to take care of no man's kids. So you to even, number one, be out at the bar, and number two, be out here scoping for me to take care of your kids is absolutely insane. And bro, it's not like she just had the kid, you know what I'm saying? It's like this woman is actually like, didn't even have the baby yet. You know what I'm saying? She was trying to trap a youngin', man. She was trying to trap me. Shout out to Mom Dukes though for looking out for me, man. Dodging bullets.
This is a perfect example of why you shouldn't be too thirsty as a guy. Maintain your frame. You don't gotta take everything that's thrown your way. And sure, in this particular case, his mother was acting as a buffer in between the woman who was showing a little bit of interest and her son, who she knew wouldn't even be into this kind of woman, as according to him. But just in general, it don't pay when you are thirsty as a man, when you out here and you starving and you just take anything that come your way. It don't matter. She could look like Jabba the Hutt. She could not even be an attractive woman to you. And there are some men who still like, I'ma still hit though. Because if you can't even maintain and control yourself when it comes to a woman who you don't even find physically attractive, you're not even really into, other than the fact that she's an opportunity for you to get off, then how are you going to handle yourself? How are you going to maintain and keep your composure when it comes to the caliber of women who actually do rank when it comes to level of attraction you have for them? Because I've seen it before with those kind of guys. They tend to then go ahead and simp out when it comes to the woman who they actually do find physically attractive and they're really into. And then sometimes those are the very same men who they end up feeling extremely frustrated because they don't think they're receiving or being appreciated enough for all that they do. So the bottom line is men need to make sure that they do their homework when it comes to women so that they could protect themselves from the vultures out there who are looking for an opportunity for a come up, an opportunity to manipulate or take advantage of a man who may have his guard down or will leave himself open to her deception because he's clouded by his sexual desires.
Okay, so I went on a date. The date was going to church, but I was late to the date. He arrived at my house at 9:25. At 9:20. I was out by 9:25, so I was pushing the time that it took to get to church. So then I wanted to get some Starbucks. So we go get Starbucks, and he felt like I was pushing the time because church started at 10. We arrived to church exactly at 10. But you know how when you're in the car and you got to get like ready, put your lip on, get the oil off the bottom of your shoes and stuff? I was doing that. So my date was really anxious to get into church, but I felt like you could just wait for me. So then he's like, I'm gonna just leave you the key. Mind you, this is my first time at his church. I've never been to this church before. I'm a little anxious. It's a date. It's already like the nerves are there. So he leaves. And then I get upset. And I'm like, I feel like you just left me. So I text my friend and I was like, can you come pick me up? And she's like, where you at? As I'm texting her and talking to her, he comes out because he's like, where are you at? I said, I'm leaving. So then I'm like, he's like, no, don't leave. So I get out of the car and he's like, come on, let's just go to church. Let's go to church. Let's walk in. And then I was like, no. So I turn around. I said, I'm not going. And then this went on for like less than like 2 minutes in the parking lot. So then I get tearful because I'm feeling left out. Like, I feel like you just tried to leave me. And I don't know what that is. But I need y'all to tell me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong for saying I'm going to leave? Because he said that he felt like it was disrespectful to do all of that. And I just don't feel like I was being disrespectful, because I feel like once you got out of the car, you basically left me. And I don't know. I'm your guest. Granted, I don't think that was the intent, but I want to know if y'all feel like I'm disrespectful, because I just don't think it's disrespectful that I felt like he could have waited like 3 minutes. I was done. We got to church at 10. I wrapped everything up by 10:03, but then he wanted to hurry up and leave. And then he ended up having to come back out. Am I wrong? Is that wrong? For real, like, is that wrong?
First off, let's get the obvious out the way. Let's just clear this part up right here. You guys don't need to call, talk, speak, meet, hang out, do anything anymore. Just leave each other alone. You're not compatible. You're not for each other. 5 minutes late, okay, not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. You guys can still get there on time and be all good. But then you actually want to go and stop off for Starbucks. Stopping for Starbucks is an activity you do when you got time to spare, or you do it on your own, not when you pressed trying to get to somewhere at a specific time and you don't have extra time to waste. I mean, think about how much more time that could have initially took. I mean, you get to the Starbucks, then you gotta wait in line at the Starbucks. It may be a long line at the, who knows how long the line was. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the drive-thru? Did you walk in? It's a lot of factors that can come into play as far as stretching out that amount of time between you needing to go get your Starbucks and actually showing up and getting to where you guys were actually meant to be going, which is church on this particular day. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I ain't never ever thought about going on a church date. But maybe she just fishing for content, and so she created this story, and it's not even real. That's beside the point. Hypothetically speaking, if this actually did happen and you went on a church date, I would think that if someone suggests let's go on a church date as far as an option, they're letting you know right off the bat that their faith is an extremely important aspect of who they are and relevancy in their life. And so it's not the same if you guys were 5 minutes late showing up to go bowling or at this restaurant where he set up reservations or something of that nature. It's not the same. It doesn't hold the same weight because of the place he's taking you. And so, yeah, she's wrong, but she's wrong for just wasting his time from the very beginning, because this should not even have been a date. Her value when it comes to her faith isn't the same as his, or at least she didn't demonstrate it in this particular instance when she had a clear opportunity to, because if she was as gung-ho and as inspired to be in church, nothing would have prevented her from being right there walking in to those doors with him. But it was easy for her to find an excuse to get out of it as soon as things didn't go how she wanted to go. And it's because she didn't really have a desire to be there in the first place for whatever reason. And so here's my final verdict and the things you could take away from this. 1, hopefully he doesn't have such a nice guy mentality where he pursues women who really don't have a true interest in him, but he continuously keeps on chasing after them because he has a level of physical attraction that exists there for these women. And he's hoping that that's enough for them to reciprocate and like him back because he's showing his interest in them. But it's never really equal. He's constantly the chaser, and he never really feels that same level in return when it comes to someone really caring about him. Number 2, learn how to respect people's time, especially when they're showing you a genuine interest to open up about sharing their faith with you. And if you don't share that same desire as far as when it comes to how deep they feel for their faith, then don't waste that person's time. But anyway, guys, questions, comments, thoughts, and feedback, drop them down below. I appreciate when you guys chime in. Don't forget, you enjoy any part of the content, make sure you smash the like button for more, subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.